Hello and welcome to the channel. So Microsoft is investigating why devs are prioritizing PlayStation 5 over Xbox. It could be a myriad of things. Now, this is where I feel like Microsoft kind of messed up when they decided to launch the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X. I mean, yes, it's a bargain console and everybody can, afford about 350 bucks comparing to $499 for the Xbox Series X. Now, the problem is that system doesn't have as much firepower or just raw power itself in order to develop for. So if you're developing a game, you have to do it for the Xbox Series S. And most developers are having issues developing for the two different consoles. It's like the Xbox Series S is like last gen. It's like the Xbox One X, and the Xbox Series X is the new console, and you have to develop for both. You have no choice but to develop for both if you want to, have your game out there. So I think that's one of the issues. And another issues that I've heard in the industry is the fact that it's much harder to develop for the Xbox Series X, even though it's the world's most powerful console. But the PlayStation 5 is a very capable machine, and it's easy to develop for. This this kind of it kind of seems to me like the table has turned. I don't know if you guys remember the PlayStation 3 era, where the PlayStation 3 was a very expensive console and it was hard to develop for, while the Xbox 360 was very easy to develop for and it was a much cheaper console. So everybody bought the 360 and it kicked the shit out of PlayStation's behind until like the very end, where the PlayStation 5 started catching up to the Xbox 360. But anyway, let's read the blog post. A blog post on Microsoft's game developer website has highlighted the firm's intention to learn why Xbox is being skipped over in favor of other platforms. And another thing too, I'm sorry, y'all. The other reason is because of Game Pass. A lot of developers, they don't want to put their games on the Xboxes because Xbox Game Pass is literally killing sales of their, or people are not buying as many games on Xbox because we're so used to Xbox Game Pass. We'll just wait until it's on the Xbox Game Pass. And here's an example. Space Marine is going to be on Xbox. So what is the incentive for Saber Interactive to put their game on Xbox, like to sell their games on Xbox when it ends up on Xbox Game Pass anyway? So if you have purchased the game, guess what? I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for Saber Interactive because they're getting their money anyway, because Microsoft has to pay out these developers a certain amount of money. It could be, it's millions of dollars that they have to pay these companies in order for them to add these games on the platform, on the Xbox Game Pass. Only downside is you don't own the game. So when it leaves Game Pass, the game is gone forever. You don't own it. You're just renting the license. But anyway, it's no big secret that certain developers have faced struggles with the Xbox ecosystem in recent times. The biggest example is Baldur's Gate 3, which was delayed on Xbox because of the Series S console's inability to completely run the game in split screen mode. There have been problems in other areas too. The studio behind, can I say that? Inotra? The last song made public its struggles to communicate with Xbox, leading to lengthy delay. Similar, the makers of 2D Metroidvania Hawk are bringing the game to PlayStation 5, but skipping Microsoft's platform entirely. And another game too that was skipped entirely on the Xbox is Marvel vs. Capcom Collections. That game has skipped Xbox in general. It was only available on the PlayStation 4 and it's available on PC. I got my copy for the PC, and then I will probably end up purchasing the physical copy for my PlayStation 4. But the next version of the collection, it's definitely going to be on Xbox, but I will probably end up buying another copy for my PlayStation 4 and another one for the PC as well too. But anyway, There have been problems in other areas, blah, blah, blah. The new push from Microsoft to improve its relationship with developers is perhaps a result of missteps such as these. It's all about giving game developers what they need to feel empowered and supported by Xbox, reads the blog post. Xbox principal user research Dr. Deborah Henderson says she wants to hear from everyone who works on games or help support game studios, because if we can make your life easier, it makes gaming better. 100% agreed. You got to listen to your developers. You got to listen to what they're asking from you. You know what I mean? Like if they're trying to reach out and get you to help them with something in order to make the game run, Microsoft should definitely listen. But when they don't do that, then it'd just be like, you know what? Let's just abandon the Xbox and just make the games. So therefore, like more games are going to be on the PlayStation because, like I said, it's easier to develop for, and you don't have to develop for two different platforms. You have the PlayStation 5, and then you have the PlayStation 5 Digital, which is literally the same console. The only difference is one has a disk drive and the other one doesn't. I think if Microsoft had made that move when they launched this generation, they would have been in a better position, in my opinion. But going forward on the next Xbox, the next iteration of their next gen console, if they decide to go this route again, make sure that you build a console that's digital, that has the same firepower as your physical copy version of the console. If they do that, I think they'll definitely be in a better position in the next generation consoles in about 4 or 5 years. And also, while developing this console, talk to developers, ask them what they want. You want to get feedback right away while you're developing your console, so then it makes it much easier to, give them the tools they need to make games. Most interesting, the scope of the research extends to those not making their games for Xbox. If you aren't on Xbox, we'd like to know why, Henderson says. And honestly, if you're using our competitors' products, you probably have a great perspective we could learn from. It all sounds good to us. Better communication and open-minded view on feedback can only be a positive thing. And I 100% agree. Honestly, like if Microsoft was more competitive, I don't think the PlayStation 5 Pro would be $699. I think it would have been at like $599, which is, a great price. But $699, it's also not terrible. You're getting 2 terabytes of hard drive. You're getting a faster processor, game enhancement. But I think the problem is Sony didn't show anything brand new, and that's one of the many issues that gamers are upset about. And Sony has been taking a lot of L's, but unfortunately there's no competition from the other side, so therefore they can just get away with whatever they want. I mean, where are you gonna go? You're gonna go buy an Xbox? No. The only other option is PC. And if you have PC, you can literally play all the games, because PlayStation games are ending up on PC. You got Xbox Game Pass on PC. So what do you need a console for? Console used to be the most inexpensive way for you to play these games, and it looks absolutely great. But we'll see what happens with this forum, and hopefully going forward from now, Microsoft can help out the developers that are really trying to push their games on their console. But anyway, let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.